Maverick 100.9, Aggie Lands Country Alternative. It's Corliss, and I get to be joined by one of my gal pals. Adrian Johnston is here. Hey, girl.
Hey.
It has been a minute since we have heard from you, and I know you and I have got to meet up at some award shows this past year and chat music, but you're really ready to be releasing new music, aren't you?
Oh my gosh, yes. It's so funny to really put a timeline to it because you don't realize how long it truly has been. And obviously everybody was off the road for 2020. And then everybody started to get on the road in 2021. And we said, oh, pause, we're pregnant. We're saying now because nobody wants to see 8 months pregnant on a stage. Let me tell you right now. And then now we're raising a small human, which makes it a little trickier to be on the road. So yeah, I'm more than ready. I have grown and birthed and raised a human in the time that we have gotten a song ready, which is absurd, but here we are. And we're just going with the punches these days.
Multitasking mama. That's the only way to do motherhood, you know?
You have to. There's no way to physically do it all at different times. So you just have to do it all at the same time and just be a chicken with your head cut off 24/7.
Absolutely. Well, and from what I've read, that's kind of what your new single talks about. It's called Trying. And this seems to be a little autobiographical. Is that the word?
Hey, it should be if it's not. Let's add it to the Webster.
We got it.
It's true. The song was so funny. So it got pitched to me years ago when I was doing the It Takes Time EP and loved the song, but at the time wasn't married, didn't have kids, wasn't truly what I could relate to at the time. And I've always been a big proponent of I will write my songs, but also the best song should win at the end of the day. So if a song fits my life better than I could have written it, I am not ashamed to be like, absolutely, let's add that sucker. So we were going through songs for this record and we had just found out we were pregnant. And I was like, oh, this one, I feel like is going to be my life. And it's funny because it truly has become now my true story.
That's so odd. It's almost like it was laid out there for you before you knew it.
Yeah. My life was told to me before I lived it via song.
And thank goodness the song was still available because it is really you.
I know, right? Who would have thought? And that's the funny thing about songs is sometimes they take years and years to find the right person. And it's not uncommon for songs to get cut 5-10 years later. And luckily for me, it was still up for grabs. And Lacey Green and she is a writer up in Nashville and we've done stuff together before and she had pitched it to me. And so when I reached out, she just had a baby also. I was like, Lacey, you even wrote this with everybody before you were pregnant too. Like, what are the chances? And so I think it's just so fun that it's finally landed now, which is perfect for me. And it was so funny. I got stopped in Walgreens the other day by a mom and she was like, are you Adrian? Mind you, I have my kid on my hip. I'm like getting pictures from the, printer person because birthday is next week and I have nothing ready. And I'm like, okay, I gotta get this. And I'm like, heaven forbid we get a cart. We're just going to hold him and all the things. And I'm juggling all of these things. It's like, are you Adrian? I just have been listening to your song and in the carpool lane with my kids. And I just love it. It's so great. And I was like, great. Oh God. Anyway, I gotta go.
I gotta go because the song's actually really, really true. And you should understand what I'm going through right now.
If you could have seen it in person, it was just a dumpster fire. It's fine.
Well, that's the way we do it. And I love it. And Adrian, I'm so glad you're back. And we're finally going to debut this brand new single to everybody on Maverick 100.9. Listen up. It's Adrian Johnston and Trying. Due to copyright, Brian Broadcasting is not licensed to air this single for you in podcast form, but you can find it on any downloading and streaming platform that you prefer. And today's interview continues now. That was Trying, Adrian Johnston on Maverick 100.9. It's Corliss, and this is actually Adrian's first time joining me here. And I'm just elated to have you. Like, getting to know you this past year has been so much fun for me, just FYI.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like it's so funny to have been doing this for as long as I've done it, 10 years, and then to have been to so many radio stations and know so many people, but still, I think because I was semi-retired for a minute, coming back, it's like new breath of fresh air with new people, and to see how radio has kind of changed over and how things have kind of been different. And I just love that there's like a new wave of people and a lot of girls that are involved now that I just love. And it's just been nice to like go to award shows and go, oh, there's new people to meet here. How much more fun is this? And you've been one of those people it's been so great to get to know. And I appreciate you guys even just having me on and everything.
I've been waiting for it. Like I can play cool all day, but I'm a fan. Like at the end of the day, I just am. I can't help it. And I fangirl. And even meeting you, I remember walking and I'm like, are you Adrian Johnston?
I probably was like, hey,
you were
I'm a mom
so
with
nice.
No baby tonight, having
Right?
a cocktail, like whatever.
Well, we got to talk about baby and mom life and stuff like that. It's not like you haven't been working on anything. You've actually just been working on like quadruple the stuff. You did have a baby, a beautiful baby boy, and even that had a bit of a rough start for you, which I'm sure, interfered with music as well. And then you've got the boutique on top of that. So tell me how everything is going in the life.
Wild. So the store we moved to East Texas. I'm originally from Dallas, and we moved to East Texas when we got married because that's where my husband's from. That's where his job is. He could come home every night. He works in oil and gas. So that's very rare that they don't have to go off and then be gone for weeks and come home. So the fact that he could come home every night was a huge proponent for us to come out here. So as time did tell, I was like, well, when I normally would just pick up an extra couple shows during the week in DFW, I'm home now and have some time. So I started a little pop-up shop boutique. It started doing really well. And I had the time to do it during the weekday and I could still go out on the road on the weekends. Well, January 2020, it had done well enough that we opened our brick and mortar in Jefferson, and then closed our doors, which forced me to figure out how to go online and really service everybody because nobody could come in and physically shop. So I wasn't on the road. I was doing a lot of Facebook Live shows and, kind of doing like radio takeovers and things like that. And then was also working on growing the boutique online and had all this time to spare. So thankfully, it kind of slowed down enough to grow that. Then everybody's going back on the road and we find out we're pregnant. And I was like, I can do this. It'll be fine. And then I think a lot of people don't talk about like pregnancy complications, but I ended up having really bad gallstones and was having gallbladder attacks throughout my entire pregnancy where they weren't sure if I was going to have surgery while pregnant before 28 weeks or not. And had to do some sonograms and MRIs and things like that to find out kind of what the deal was. So the scare factor of like unknown really made me want to stay home and take care of myself and to slow down, which I am not one to do. I don't sit still very well. And I just had to. I got asked to go out on the road when I would have been 8 months pregnant for like a 6-city, 7-day, like intense thing. And I'm like, I can't. And I'm not one to say no. Like, I'll figure it out. I'll suck it up. And my husband goes, you can't do that. You are going to stress yourself out. It's not healthy for you and the baby. And thankfully we just, stayed home and snuggled and, and then now you have mom brain. And I feel like that's just now the normal. Nobody ever knows what's going on anymore. They're just got to get used to it.
And you and baby are both healthy.
Yeah. Oh, we're totally.
Yeah.
I had my gallbladder taken out right after my 6-week appointment. And then it was like, we had a baby, we felt good. Then we had our gallbladder taken out. Then we felt good. Then we got COVID at New Year's. And then we came back down again. So it was like, I swear I woke up and he was 4 months old. Like, I'm not really sure what happened. Highly medicated for a minute, but we're back now. The fog is gone.
I'm so glad. I'm and I'm very glad to hear everyone is healthy because they don't. Nobody ever just says, hey, this is the scariest thing you will ever go through. And you're supposed to suck it up and like look like a princess while doing nope.
Nope.
That's not
I'll
what
never forget.
pregnancy is.
I did something and I was on such a strict diet because of my gallbladder situation. And I could only have these and I was so hungry all the time. Like, you are pregnant and you are hungry. You're like,
yeah.
hangry. free. And I could have these smoothies. That's all I could have. But I had to make them with like frozen strawberries because it makes it colder. Because if you use regular strawberries, it gets it too goopy. And my sweet husband made me one morning, and he didn't know the frozen strawberry trick. And he made it, and it was like warm, and it was like, and you're kind of nauseous. And I just remember like trying to drink it, and he looked at me, and I just started crying. He's like, "What's wrong?" I go, "It's not right, but I don't want to hurt your feelings." And and he was like, "Oh,
oh my God,
I'm really hungry, and it's not what I can have it. I'm really sorry about it." Meltdown.
But it's so real because we all know.
So hard. You're just like, I'm just sad today because my smoothie was wrong.
Oh man. Then we send the husband spiraling, and they do the whole, we can't ever do anything right.
Oh.
No, you're doing everything right. That's the problem, is that you're doing everything right. And there is still no way that we can regulate what's going on in our heads and in our bodies. You just can't.
There's no control over what's happening inside. And bless his heart. He's so hands-on dad. He was so hands-on doing everything around the house. And he still was like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, I don't know either. I don't know. Bless his heart. He's just a saint.
I think that's the secret, though, is like, don't let him find out that we actually don't know what we're doing either.
There we go.
We've been faking it this entire time.
Oh, 100%. Everything we do, we fake it. Like they say, fake it till you make it, but like you're still faking it when you make it too.
Yes.
Because
you're just faking it better at that point.
You just learn how to fake it professionally for the rest of your life till you die. There you go.
Oh, love it. Well, of course, I would love everyone to check out your boutique. I know I look at it obsessively because I have a clothing problem. And, but Adrian is so sweet to fill my addictions. She's my dealer. And so can you let everybody know your website so they can go on and shop online?
Oh, absolutely. It's sheality.com. It's like she reality. And we ship all over the nation. We actually dressed a bunch of the girls for the Texas Regional Radio Awards this last year, some sparkles. So, if you're always looking for an award outfit, just hit me up and I'll send you some bling.
Exactly. And please don't forget that we do have an award show coming up that you can get your tickets for right now. It's called the TCMAs. Go to TexasCountryMusicAssociation.org. Get your tickets for that now because it is open to the public, and you get to see all your favorite Texas country artists and a few fuddy-duddy radio personalities.
I keep telling my husband, let's go to the awards because he wasn't able to go with me in March.
Yes.
And it's that second weekend in November. He goes, well, that's our wedding anniversary. I was like, oh,
what better way to celebrate then?
I'm like, sorry. Poor guy. I always make our trips into a work thing. Like we're going to Nashville at the end of October. And I'm like, but while we're there, he's like, can we just go on a vacation and just be normal humans? Like, no, we can't.
That's ridiculous.
Right? Got to double dip all the time. It's a write-off, babe. It's a write-off.
It's a write-off. It's all work at the end of the day. But so speaking of new music, work, everything. So is there more music to come to follow up trying as well?
Yeah. So whenever we originally went into the studio, we have a whole record ready. And now that trying is apparently people are liking it. So who knew? We've got 5 more songs ready. And so the question is, do we trickle it out? Do we do a whole album release maybe in the spring? I normally am very planned out and I know exactly what the plan is, but I was just kind of letting the song lead the trenches, if you will. So far it's been good. We've got a couple of shows lined up before the end of the year. And I think the spring is going to bring maybe a whole new surprise.
I sure hope so. So that definitely means follow, because Adrian Johnston is going to have so much coming out that you're going to want to be able to consume it all. And like I said, you can also visit her boutique to keep up with her as well. I feel like you are so heavily involved in our lives. Like if you need something, call Adrian.
Hey, I got you.
So follow. And Adrian, thank you so much for coming to debut everything here on Maverick.
Thank you. It's so good to talk to you. And I will for sure, I'm telling my husband we're coming in November so we can see everybody because it's been too long.